All right, we are live. Yay! Well, hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining us here on Classy Chicks Vintage Flicks. As always, I am Jennifer. I couldn't remember my channel name for a minute. And I'm not the one that's been drinking. You guys have to guess which one of us that is, because I have a feeling you're going to have a hard time figuring that out. And it was just one drink, so we're all lightweights around here. So Vintage Vanity, that's my channel. Thank you guys so much for coming out. With me, as always, is the lovely and stunning JL from Modern Retro Gal.
Hello.
And as well, we have Heather from How to Be Fancy.
Hello.
Yay. So tonight we are actually, this is, we're going to officially say that we are caught up, but this is technically our October live stream, but we're just going to call it, because it's so fabulous, we'll just call it October, November, and then say we're caught up. So
yeah, not be hot.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for bearing with us as we got this thing up, because yeah, I scheduled it on a Thursday. Didn't tell the girls it was on a Thursday. Just scheduled it on a Thursday. Never on a Thursday, but I did it anyway. So yeah. So thank you guys so much, and I apologize. My screen is going to be blurry because I'm still working on my broken computer, but that's okay because I just got back from work and I have work face going on, so the soft glow is appreciated. And so let's talk a little bit about the movie. We kind of are breaking our rules a little bit, just a little bit, to do a more modern movie. But I think it is a classic for this time of year. I think this is, to me, this is a fall movie, not a specific movie. But it is 1993's Hocus Pocus. And this has quickly become quite the cult classic, I would say. And this was starring Bette Midler, of course, right? Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Najimy, and various other people.
No one else matters, really.
No, not really. Not really. I will say, well, let's just throw Thora Birch's name in the mix, too. Okay. I think that one doesn't. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, this is a Disney film. And it was actually meant to be a Disney Channel film. It wasn't really going to be a full film. But a few higher-ups found out about it, and they decided to actually end up making it a full version film in a full theatrical performance. Bette Midler had stated in 2008 that out of all of her films, this film was her favorite. Let's see. Oh, this is, I find interesting, our little trivia section. The role of Max Dennison was actually offered to Leonardo DiCaprio, but DiCaprio turned it down to appear in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. So while I'm a little bit sad that DiCaprio wasn't in this film, I do forgive him because What's Eating Gilbert Grape is amazing, right?
It's the best movie ever.
Colleen does a amazing, what do you call that when you copy somebody?
Impersonation?
Yes, both those things.
I used to quote that. What is it?
Oh, really? That's awesome. Sarah Jessica Parker actually plays a witch that was executed during the Salem witch trials in the late 1600s. But I don't know if anybody's seen that show, Who Do You Think You Are, where it goes back through your ancestry. Well, it turns out that one of Sarah Jessica Parker's ancestors was actually accused of witchcraft during this time. Unfortunately, she survived, but she's like, after this, it kind of like changed her whole role on it. Oh, this is a little cute trivia. This is the first Disney movie to ever mention virgins. We got a little sassy with this one.
Oh, no League of Equals. This one.
One thing that I have heard, and it could be making this up. It is a full possibility that I may have dreamed it, because it would have been a nightmare. But apparently there are talks about remaking this movie. I don't know who would be starring in it, but I'm sure by the end of the night we'll have our, who we think should be cast in this. But quite honestly, we'll actually find out what our thoughts of this movie being remade. But, no spoilers right here. Oh, we do have Peoples. Peoples are here. Oh, hi, Peoples. Yay. All right, so let's see who we've got. Kathy Irwin says, hey, witches. And Kathy, I really hope that's how you said it, right? Delana Cunningham gives us just big loves. Dark Rose 1870 says, hello. Jamina she says hello from Australia. So yay, Australian people. Because I know the times are kind of hard. Samantha Workman says, hello, ladies. Brindwich says, hi, kiddo. I live in Elgin, ND. North Dakota?
There you go.
Which is funny because there's an Elgin near me.
There's an Elgin.
Is there really? What about you, JL? Do you have an Elgin?
No.
Oh, good God. If anybody has seen the recent Viva vlog I put up, like the start of it, JL just has a way of saying things that just leave me in literal tears. And in that vlog, there was one of those moments, like every time I had to go back and watch the beginning of that vlog, I just lost my shit. No. Elizabeth Mansell says, good evening, ladies. Grindwich says, I always keep an eye out for you. Friday Ketchup says, hi, ladies. Sorry I'm late. IKEA ate all my time. Well, I hope you ate all IKEA's meatballs then if it ate your time. And we were a little late anyway, so no worries. I know this is your name backwards, but I'm T-A. Oh, I do this every time. I don't know. I can't read backwards tonight. Ye querente. Go with that. Hello. Hi. So glad you made it out tonight. The retro hippie girl says, hi, everyone. Dark Rose said, Gary Marshall. Denise Marie says, ooh. And Delana Cunningham says, I remember being taken aback when I heard the word. Hey, ladies. Hopefully, Homesteader is here with us. Celiac Kitten. Hello. Let's see. Aussie's present. Denise Marie says, hey, from Philly. We've got Tucson here. Elgin near you. LOL, I can't type on a tell. Oh, so you are near me.
Wow.
Hi. How you doing? How you like our rain? Kayla Steen says, Aussie. Yicrente says, Canada. Oh, I love Canadians. Cake Yo says, hello from Tennessee, just tuning in. So glad you could make it. And Dollface Destiny says, hi from Wyoming. Oh, when Disney used the word virgin, she said, I think she's saying that's the first time she had heard it. Katie Irwin says, Anaheim, Garden Grove, California, streaming along. Apple Loves Pie is here from Wisconsin as well. My God, you guys. Oh, my God. Friday is a good turnout. I'm liking this. All right. Again, that's my sassy dance. Okay, Heather. JL gave her sassy dance. Where's yours?
I lost it.
I love it.
I can't.
Danny is here from Arizona as well. We've got another Arizona person on here. So let's go round robin really quick. In jail, I am going to pick on you just because I love it. Is this your first watch of the movie? And you guys in the comments have to answer these questions too. You can't just let JL take all the heat, right? Was this the first watch of the movie for you? And number two, what are your thoughts on the movie?
This was my first full watch of the movie. I feel like I've watched the exact same section of the movie every year it's been on TV that we've had cable. Never caught the very beginning. Always just like saw this one little section of it and then moved on. I understand why everybody loves this movie, but I don't love it. Like I'm not like on that same playing field with everybody else on it. Like I get it from watching it all the way through. And it's not really like well, like a little background. I never did Halloween growing up. My husband didn't. We don't raise our kids like that. It's just a personal choice. And it's not so much that, because I feel like there's other movies, like I've always watched Beetlejuice and loved that, and I've always watched like Addams Family, and I feel like that gets played a lot during the Halloween season. And, like during the time, maybe it was a little bit late, but I was more like a girl than a Hocus Pocus girl. So it was kind of a hard watch for me. I had a lot of like cringe moments where I was like, this is really hard for me to get through. But I get, like, I think about it in terms of 90, I would have been 13. I get the appeal to it and that sort of longevity of people continuing to watch it every year. So I get that aspect. I don't know if it's the character that plays or if it's her delivery, but she's the reason why I can't handle watching all the way through. Like I see blonde, but her me crazy. And so it's like for her, like the way it's delivered, it makes it really hard to watch it the whole way through. Like I just can't. So watching it this week was like so hard. It was honestly kind of like torturous, but I was like, it's my job, so I'm gonna do it. I mean, I love Bette Midler in it, and I like overall, I think it was for the time period when it was done really well. I have my ideas of like a few replacement people, but and what is it, Kathy Najimy? She the other one. I love her too. I think she's a great female comedic actress, and that sort of what am I trying to say? The like physical comedy kind of a thing. Like she does the stuff with her face, and you know, she just really gets into her character. But Sarah Jessica Parker's delivery, I just can't with her. I love her. She like ruins the whole movie for me, honestly.
Oh wow!
Strong opinions.
I can't watch it because I just find myself every time she's on screen just wanting to turn it off. So don't hate me.
Never. I mean, you may get flea infested, but no hate.
So.
All right. Thank you, JL. You know what? And I was really interested to see what your thoughts were, given that, you know, the Halloween season, I think for a lot of people is very nostalgic, especially, you know, movies that like this that you may have watched when you were younger during that time as well. So I always kind of was curious as if that would play a part in it a little bit. Like if a lot of our nostalgia for being young and going through Halloween plays a part into the movie. So I was very, and I think maybe it does a little bit. So if anybody in the comments doesn't celebrate Halloween either, does that play a part? Did it change how you kind of saw it at all? I'd be curious to know that. And we're gonna go to Heather to find out what Heather's overall thoughts of the movie was.
Yeah, I think I have a very similar perspective. I've never trick-or-treated. I wasn't allowed to watch any kind of films like this when I was younger. I think somehow I managed to watch The Addams Family and Casper. And so I never had seen Hocus Pocus. I never wore a costume, so that was never a part of anything I did as a kid. So I kind of have a similar, I think, experience. I think if I had seen this when I was younger, I'd have been maybe 9 or 8 or 9 when this came out. I probably would have loved it. I loved anything like this, and especially because it's slightly a musical, I think I would have loved it, but I clearly don't have the connection to it now as an adult that I would have had I watched it when I was young. Because every year, I have to watch Nightmare Before Christmas or what's the other one? Not Coraline. What's the other?
Corpse Bride?
Yep. I have to watch those during the fall season. And even Harry Potter, I watched during the fall season, because that's nostalgic to me. So I think that does play a role in it. That said, I love Bette Midler in this. I love them all together. I think I agree that Sarah Jessica Parker is just a little bit over the top and in an annoying kind of way. And you think she would be perfect because she seems like the right fit, but then I think within the three of them, she's definitely the weakest link to me. I think she's adorable as a witch, but I don't think character-wise, I definitely no connection there. I love how Kathy the whole time was talking out the side of her mouth. I think that shows and she carries it through the whole time, because I kept watching to see is she gonna break this character that she's clearly created this character and is just having the time of her life with it. So I loved watching her throughout. So I love the two of them, but yeah, definitely SJP weakest link. Overall,
that's weakest link. Goodbye.
Overall, I like it. I own it. But it's not my favorite.
Excellent. Before I read comments to see how we fall on things, I will go. Only fair. I do have to say, I don't. Rewatching this film, and it's been a few years since I've watched it, and I had watched it a few times, but rewatching it again made me realize how just fun this movie is for me. It just feels like a little tiny, not like a grown-up roller coaster, but a little roller coaster at an amusement park that makes you just feel oh, this is fun. Remember when this was just awesome and great? So teacup. It's not teacup. Oh my God, that's exactly what it is. It's the teacups. Because I enjoy the sisters, the Sanderson sisters, so incredibly much. I mean, this movie to me is about those witches, please. The kids. I know I did see somebody saying that they hate Danny. I love Danny. She's one of my favorites outside of the Sanderson sisters. Everybody else I can pretty much do without. I am a diehard Bette Midler fan, so anything she does I will be all on board with. But this movie to me just really lets everything that we love about Bette Midler just comes out in her mannerisms. I mean, her facial expressions, just everything. You could tell she just had fun with this character. And yeah, I really, really love the movie. Watching this again makes me think that I probably will start watching it every year again. But again, like Heather said, there are others that are more Halloween-y for me. Because during this season, specifically the Halloween season, I go more 80s horror slasher flicks, which I know Heather hasn't watched at all. But Halloween is my hands down. Oh, that's a good question for you guys in the comments. What's your favorite actual Halloween movie? Mine is actually Halloween. And I think a lot of that is because I grew up in the Midwest. So that movie actually looked like a lot of my neighborhoods. All right, real quick though, I'm going to go back through the comments, and while I'm reading comments, you guys are going to be thinking about what your, not necessarily your favorite scene, but what you like best. Like, what was the one thing about this movie that you were like all 100% on board with? It just flipped to JL's face, and I feel like she was like, let me think. Come to me last, because I really got to think on this one. All right. Dark Rose says she likes our sassy dance. She did watch it when it came out, and she still loves it. Katie says it's definitely not her first watch. It's a staple in her house during the Halloween season. Pinup Chelly is here from the OC. I don't know if people actually from the OC call themselves the OC, but there you go. I did it because I'm not from there. Friday Ketchup says it's been around for a fair bit of my life, but it's not my first full watch through. First time as an adult though. Delana says such a great story. Friday loved it. Mary Heron, who's out with us tonight, loved it as well. Grindwich loves the movie. She owns a copy, watches it a lot. Kayla Steen says, we don't do Halloween in Australia.
I wondered about that.
But when do you get all your free candy from strangers? Maybe it's because Australians have much better candy than we do. Because they have, oh, what's the ones that they have? The ones that you bite off the end and then you suck your what was it? Tim Tams, yes. I would, you know what? I would go to Australia on Halloween just to trick or treat on them and be like, give me all your Tim Tams. And be like, there's this strange robber going around our neighborhood just demanding Tim Tams. I don't know. But she did, she's watched it more times than should be allowed. Dark Rose loves the witches. Elizabeth says, I loved it as a kid. As an adult, I like it. I might watch it when it's on TV. Friday Ketchup says, she wonders if Sarah Jessica Parker and Bette Midler kept a friendship going because they starred in First Wives Club together. I feel like Bette Midler's probably one of those people, like, if you meet her, you're her friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think both of them may be a little bit that way.
Like, whatever. She's probably not, I don't feel like she's very, like, I don't want to work with her. I don't want to work with them. I feel like she's like, hey, how's it going? Want to do a movie with me? Okay, let's have fun. And then sing in it. Even if you can't, I'll, like, carry the tune for everyone, so.
Mm-hmm. You don't even have to be good.
Hey, let's dub it over. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Marion Heron says, amok, amok, amok. Dark Rose is the one that hates Danny. It's okay. It's okay. This is a safe space to express your dislike for anything in this movie. Apple Loves Pie said, I love this movie as a kid. Still enjoy it, but I think it's mostly nostalgia. Talana says, Thackeray Binks was a little hottie. You know who I thought he was? Does anybody remember Life Goes On, that TV show? Oh-blah-dee, oh-blah-da, life goes on. Na, 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 life goes on. Chad Lowe was in it. And at first,
He was? Oh, yes, he was.
Yeah. And because he had, he ended up getting AIDS in the show or something like that. Like his character did, not him. But at first I thought Thackeray Binks was him. I had to look it up. Mary Heron said, hey, Stop bashing my favorite Sanderson sister, Sarah. That's
cute.
Yeah. Kyla says, I don't think celebrating Halloween affects the movie. Watching as a kid might. I think, and Friday says, I think because Australia has been so Americanized, we have a grasp on the ideal Halloween looks like. Ooh, I wonder then if you came to America for Halloween, if you'd be disappointed in the reality. Because I feel like Halloween's changed a lot. We didn't get a lot of trick-or-treaters this year. Yeah. Oh, I lost my place. Oh, there we go. Denise Marie says her husband likes the witch's walk. Friday says the vacuum gag was great. Delana says, I like how even though they were the bad guys, they still had an ignorance about them. The retro hippie girl says, first watch, I think it's a fun movie. I always tend to watch Dracula Dead and loving it. Oh, that's a good movie. Oh my God, I need to rewatch that. Beetlejuice, Shining, Death Becomes Her when Halloween comes along. Dark Rose says you can just tell the three actresses were giving it its all. Delana says, I love it. I know it's horrible, but I love the song that lured the children. Oh, you're not alone. The devil and Medusa are actually brother and sister. Oh, because that's Laverne. Oh, what's her real name? She's,
Yep.
Yeah, Marshall.
Really? No. What is her name?
Hey Siri. Oh. Hey Siri.
What are we talking?
You know when the witches went to the house and the devil was there and they were like, Master, and they got all excited and they went into the house and they're like, oh, he's married to Medusa, and it was Laverne, the girl from Laverne and Shirley.
Penny.
Huh?
Penny
Marshall. Thank you. Sorry. Jail, for some reason, I don't know if it's on everybody's end, but on my end, your audio keeps cutting off. But I've been having that problem whenever I talk to you on the phone, too.
Okay.
But it works out because I can't hear very well anyway, so I have to put sentences together. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. So many comments. So a lot of people, yeah, I feel like a lot of people are saying like they like the movie, but it's they either love it or they're like, yeah, I like it. It was fun, but it's more nostalgic in a lot of ways. Danny's head. Oh, all I saw was Dark Rose saying Danny's head. I'm like, what about her head? But apparently in one of the bloopers, Bette Midler is flying and she accidentally kicks Danny in the back of the head, and Bette jumped off her broom and started kissing her head. All right. So I will start with Heather. What's your favorite bit about this movie?
I love their boots. So I love in the beginning. Of course I love their boots. When they're like about to be hanged and all that mess. But that's one of my favorite parts because she's got those black boots that have the green stitching on them, and I just want them so bad. So I love that. Other than that, I think I love the part where they're singing I Put a Spell, and like any part where they're singing. And actually, I really like the creepy lullaby. I don't enjoy Sarah Jessica Parker's voice. I love that song. Like, I think that I love that song. I want someone else to sing it. Does anyone else sing it? And I can just have it. That's creepy of me. So I like that. I like the campiness. I love their switch to like the modern time. So the black top when they think that it's the river. That's one of my favorite parts, when they're like stepping on it and they're like, oh my, like they think they're gonna fall in and they realize it's just a road.
Yeah, and I love how they just push Sarah Jessica Parker out. Like, you go by now.
They don't like her either.
See, so Jail's not wrong.
I love the vacuum cleaner, like those little bits of the movie I like, but I think more than any of that, I love the house. And I really want to go see the actual house in Salem, because you can go take a picture in front of it, and I'd love to do that.
Oh, I'm so sad. I didn't even realize the house, like I didn't know that. And we were just in Salem a little over a year ago.
Yep, it's there, and you can take a photo. Somebody lives there, but you can take a photo in front of it.
Next time.
We should go.
I'm gonna give Jail more time to think. Okay, it's hard because it's not really like one specific thing that I can say like this is my favorite, but basically like I should have looked it up. There's a moment just at the beginning of the movie where like Bet opens the windows and she's like, "Oh, it's a lovely day." I hate it, it's awful. And it's just like these little like kitschy moments with her where she's got these little like one-liners that are just spit out that I just absolutely just have fun with. And honestly, I'll just say it. I think Bet is my favorite part of this entire movie because she just, watching her perform in this just makes me happy and it gives me joy. Now, I do have to say though, I do enjoy the Sarah Jessica Parker character because I liked that she was just so flighty. I guess it was the less talky moments that I liked her the best, where she would just be in the background, like kind of like dancing around or like eating a spider or just doing these like other things. But it was more the background things that she would be doing, that like when they were at the cemetery gates, and the other two are starting to walk away, trying to figure out what to do. And she's just like hanging off the gates of the cemetery. And I just was utterly charmed by that. But yeah, I think whenever she like took more of a front part role, that I was kind of like, oh, okay, I don't enjoy that so much. But like even when she's dancing with the devil, things like that, I really enjoyed those little touches. But again, so I'll back Jail a little bit on that. I won't leave her hanging. But ooh, Freddy Ketchup retracted something. Oh, now I'm just dying to know what it was. Friday said maybe it's that Sarah Jessica Parker was so bad it was good. Oh, another beautiful morning makes me sick. That's what she said. Yes. All right, Jail, you are up, my friend.
Okay.
What?
So, I mean, obviously, like anytime Bette Midler starts singing, it's gonna be like the best part of any movie. I do feel like she's like the Betty. It's like anytime Betty Davis is in a movie, like it's kind of her movie, kind of a thing. The one scene that I probably do like, and not for other reasons, I think it's SJP. She's the one that does like the muck thing, and then somebody like hits her in the stomach, and she's like, "Oh!" And I was like, "Thank you." The one that's honestly like my favorite part, because I was like, finally, I'm not the only one. I do agree, like her background work in the movie is great. It's just when it gets to the dialogue, all of a sudden like something like changes and shifts for me. But it's funny. I think it's interesting that the kids in the movie really sort of take a major like background role in this, yet they're the ones who defeat the Sanderson sisters. I think out of all the kids, the youngest one, and I can't remember what her name is.
Danny.
She's probably Danny. I know other people didn't like her. I actually, out of the 3 child actors, I thought she was the best out of all of them. I love when she sort of like tries to make like she's going along with the witches. I think when they're in the house and she's like, yeah, like, you know, and like she's trying like
yeah, I gotta go now. That's hilarious. Yeah, yeah.
You know, I think that's hilarious. But I feel like pretty much, well, this is sort of off topic, but I feel like besides like Bette Midler's like performance through the whole thing is just absolutely flawless, and everything else is sort of very like throwaway. I don't know. That's just sort of for me, but I know other people have very nostalgic, strong ties to the movie, and I understand why, because I have that feeling about other movies, just not this one.
Which I will say too, like I know how much of a Disney fan you are too. So I was like, I kind of was expecting you to love it because it's Disney.
Other Disney movies that are in sort of the similar genre, like very like season that I know other people have grown up the same way that I have who do connect with them. It's just like it's not my thing.
Gotcha, girl. All right. Let's see. And the next question we're gonna have is how you guys feel about it being remade. And while you guys are thinking about that, see, don't you like how I'm giving you time to think about things this time?
Yeah.
I know. You know, it must be because I'm tired from work. Every once in a blue moon, I actually send an outline.
Yeah.
It's been a while. But the last time I did it, they were like, oh, yeah, it was weird. I don't know how I felt about that. I don't think I liked it. All right. Dark Rose says another behind-the-scenes trivia is the actor who played the zombie, they put actual moths in his mouth, and he had to fight his gag reflex. Oh, another beautiful. Oh, I already read that one. I love the Sanderson sisters' outfit and "Come Little Children" song. Says hopefully Homesteader. Denise said she is lucky enough. I'm adding the lucky enough, but I feel like it's intended. Hold on. Yeah.
Will you take care of this?
Yeah, I will. I'll come check it out in a little bit. Sorry, internet.
What are you going to do with that?
You're gonna let that air dry.
I have to go to bed.
Okay, we're gonna let that air dry. Okay.
Oh, you.
Yeah, I'll come see. Don't worry. I got it.
The coffee's made.
Yep. Okay.
Don't forget my medicine.
Okay. All right. Having children is rough. Friday Ketchup said her redacted comment was she asked how effective the black flame would be.
Oh.
Mary says Tracy Hines sings a version of "Come Little Children" on YouTube. So homework for everybody. Go check that out.
Who was it?
Tracy Hines, Hines.
Thank you.
I know. Mary always has some good information, man. I'm telling you, I feel like she's a walking encyclopedia, but you have to change that now, and she's like a walking Google. Friday Ketchup says you cannot lose with the talking cat. Yeah, Heather, does yours talk? We've seen them in the background a little bit.
I mean, I don't know. I've never asked.
Oh my God! Could you imagine if that was the only barrier between actually talking to your animals, that you never was like, "Can you talk?" So if you have animals, your other homework is to ask them if they can talk. Oh, Kayla Steen says, quick, Google said, or she's responding to Friday Catch Up. She says, a quick Google search says that black flame emits a light that can't be seen by the human eye. I didn't realize that black flame was a real thing. How do you get black flame?
I don't know.
Okay, hopefully they'll let us know.
Can we not make that work?
Dark Rose says the reason she doesn't like Danny is in the beginning of the film she's being a brat to her brother for no reason, but when she stops, she's good. Yeah, but that's so typical of that age. I was a younger child. Useless for mood lighting. Kayla Steen says, I am so sick of Disney remakes. I don't know why I made her sound like that, but maybe because that's kind of how I feel a lot with remakes. I feel like everything's being remade. No, please don't remake this movie. It's perfect how it is, says Dark Rose. Oh, Simiju, SMIJU, says, I'm not even a huge fan of this one, and I'm upset about it being remade. I hear ya. Mary says, no, bad Disney, bad. Delana says she likes the devil scene too when the sisters thought that the neighbor was the actual devil and fanned all over him. It was great. Friday says, leave well enough alone. The remake of It, kiddo 16 found the remake of It hilarious. Her kid found It hilarious. Really? The remake? I've heard really good things about it. Now I gotta go see it right away. Remakes are such a gamble. Mary's mom thanks you for the comment about Mary being a walking Google. You are welcome, Mary's mom. And Kayla says superheated vapors of sulfur cause black flame. Okay, Kayla's another walking. I feel like she's our science Google.
We just to give people categories of Googling. You're our science researcher.
So if you're on science team, I believe that you would be blue. Mary Heron would probably be an ops, so you'd be yellow. So yes, I'm all casting you on our Starship Enterprise. All right. So how I feel is pretty much the way you guys feel. I don't want to see it remade. I feel like if you remake this movie, you lose a lot of what I think is enjoyable about it is a little bit of that campiness, a little bit of the nostalgia. I mean, come on, the bullies are dressed in like 90s rapper gear. I mean, part of the outfits being so dated with the modern kids is part of the charm of this movie. So I feel like, I don't know. And then I feel like it's going to be remade with all these young Disney kids. And I'm too old. I can't. If you're not going to animate it, I got no reason to watch it because they're going to be 12. They're not going to get somebody like Bette Midler to play Winnie. And then where are you? Who are you going to get? Are you going to get Queen Bee? No, I don't think you. You're going to get you some Tay-Tay? I don't think so. Who are you going to get that is a modern equivalent of Bette Midler?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Nobody's got the everything that she has.
Sure.
Jail,
just making notes.
She's like, all right, cross that one off. Cross that one off. Jail, what do you think about the remake?
I wouldn't want to see it remade. I think that is very lazy movie making. There's a lot of movies out there that have been remade and remade and remade and remade, and they're not always any better than the first round that went out. It's right. It's like you can't. There's just certain kinds of movies that there's no point remaking because the nostalgia and the campiness is the reason why people continue to love them. sometimes they sort of hit gold with a cast. And I think even though the kids may be a little bit forgettable, the Sanderson sisters themselves, that trio, like that's how everyone knows this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, if you're going to bring back Bet to do it, because I really feel like, you know, this was her role, are you going to bring back the other two? You're not going to bring back the other two? You're going to bring back two, what? You're going to pull in two other acts? Like, it's just kind of one of those things where you start opening a can of worms and it just gets really messy and gross and stinky. And I don't really see any point of remaking it just to try and bring something relevant again, when I feel like sort of the, you know, generation that would have watched this when it first came out, that generation that's like current now, like that younger preteen, teen generation, like they're probably just as into this movie as those of us who were there when it first came out. So I don't really see any point to it. And like I said, I really feel like it's lazy filmmaking to remake movies like this. I think there are exceptions out there where a remake might actually be a little bit better than the original, just depending on how they've redone it. But for the most part, I've never seen a remake that really does as well or surpasses the original. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's awesome. I think no matter what they did, it wouldn't go over well anyway. So, because it's just like it's an iconic movie. So there's no point in making an iconic movie.
Yeah, and while you were talking, I Googled to see if there was any information about the cast, and they haven't even announced that. So it'll probably end up being on the Disney Channel and not an actual movie. Heather, I have flipped over to you. I don't know if you noticed that or not. Your face is all big on the screen now.
Sorry, everybody. No, this should not be remade. Definitive no. Although I do have some interesting cast choices, but no, I hate when movies are remade. Like Ghostbusters, even though I love the women in the film, I hated that movie. I hated that remake. I think it tries to, like JL said, it's lazy. It's lazy. It's done for the sake of money. It's easy writing. It's easy. It's too easy. Like, I think, and I almost feel like it's unfortunate. I feel like this generation of like teenagers is going to miss out on their nostalgia if we keep remaking everything. Like, I feel like JL's kids are not going to have these great iconic films to rewatch as adults because we keep remaking and rehashing everything. So either Disney needs to get it together, or someone needs to come along and just do really good storytelling. I think it's time to have some really good storytelling, and remakes are just not it for me.
I like it. And they are not it for the people watching either. I definitely, what caught my eye right away is a few people were talking about like how many good books there are out there that they could be making movies based on these amazing books. Or even, hey, how about a prequel? Somebody said, like, why not find out how they got the book to begin with? That would be cool. And then you could put somebody in there. You wouldn't have to worry about it being compared because like a younger version of kind of thing. People are already thinking about who they would recast. Oh, snap. Dark Rose says, yeah, they ran out of ideas a long time ago. Okay. I'm not going to talk about what I'm liking some of your guesses here, but I'm not going to say what they are to make it harder on the other girl. All right. So we actually are going to get to that part. of the chat, the part that everybody dreads and loves at the same time. And that is, who could this movie not do without? And who... Oh my God, I already know what JL's going to say. It always has to be lead actors. It can never be side actors. So who could the movie have to have? Who could it do without? And if whoever you remove, you have to recast. So I will start with, let's just start with JL. We know who she's taking out and leaving in. But the question is, who is she replacing them with? A Tay-Tay, maybe? I don't know. A Queen Bee? This is me trying to connect with kids today. Look at me knowing all these hip artists.
I mean, I have a feeling we're probably going to all be in agreement that we would leave Bette Midler in her role because when I hear the movie Hocus Pocus, I immediately think Bette Midler. She's just amazing. I actually would pretty much recast, with the exception of Kathy and Jimmy. I would kind of basically just like throw everybody else away, and Danny. I would keep Kathy and Danny, and pretty much everybody else I would recast, like literally, like even the cat, like them all. And I think in terms of the time period of when
I throw in Mr. Darcy for the cat role. I'm just going to say it right now.
He's right here. He's ready.
For, like, I think in terms of, okay, 93, I think that the new Mickey Mouse Club house thing was still, so I would take Justin and, what's the other guy who's in all the memes?
Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling, and I would put them, like, one of them would be the teenage boy I'd probably say, like, Ryan Gosling would be the teenage boy that we see, and the cat.
Okay, because he's dreamy.
That's what I would probably do, because they were like the heartthrobby guys on there. I would pull Brooke Shields as a teen and put her in the girl, the blonde, the rich girl. I would do Brooke Shields as a teen in that. And then for SJP, that's the hardest one for me to like figure out who I would really feel like would do a better job. I almost think like, oh, that's the one that gets me, because I just don't like her, but I don't know who I would want to replace her with.
Ooh, if it's that time period, you could do Drew Barrymore. She would be cute.
Yeah. She would be excellent because she can do that kind of lighty, airheady kind of person. So yeah, Drew Barrymore, I think she would be excellent. That's how I would personally recast the movie. Unless you can get people together and time warp them into the correct age groups, don't remake the movie. Just leave it alone. That's what I would do.
I like it. I like it. What about you, Heather?
Okay, I have two different casts.
Oh.
Okay, so let's just get rid of them all because clearly I can do without anyone but Bette. So I did a cast set back like pre-1960. And I'm thinking, what if you did Kathy, her sister, as someone like Shirley MacLaine.
I like this.
Slapstick. And then you could do SJP as Betty Hutton. Because she had that like super silly tomboy, like very physical, but like super duper silly kind of character. And then for Bet's character, I think you could do, oh shoot, what's the movie with Marilyn Monroe? We watched it. Anyway, you could do a Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon thing and have one of them play Bet's character. I think those would be my witches. If I were to recast it like pre-1960. If I were recasting it today, I would choose Kathy would be Josh Gad, because I think he's hilarious and would be super funny as her character. SJP, Kristen Bell.
Brilliant.
And then Beth's character has to be somebody who can sing, and I think it should be Audra McDonald. She's got that big, amazing, she carries a stage to me. So I think she would be a fun, like they would be a really fun like group together. I feel like their chemistry would be fun. And then kid-wise, I think you could recast kids now. I feel like if they did Danny now, it would be, this is gonna sound, it's the worst show. It was my like secret addiction. Girl Meets World.
Mm-hmm.
I think the little girl, Ava Morgenstern. Yeah, that little girl would be Danny. And then I think Haley Baldwin or somebody like that, like, or even Brooke Shields' daughter would be our teenage girl. And then I think Cole Sprouse. You guys watch Riverdale? I think he would make one of the boys. I'm not sure who the other boy would be, but that would be my modern casting.
Oh my gosh, I am loving all this. I feel highly unprepared because I now want to recast the entire movie as well. All right, let's see if I can do this. Obviously, I would leave Bet. I would remove Sarah Jessica Parker's character. And I actually went a little bit different and cast Winona Ryder back. I mean, I know Beetlejuice was coming out about the same time, but I would love to see like more of, going off the Riverdale thing, more of a Veronica in the role back there. So I do like this idea of recasting prior to the 60s. I would put, because honestly, I can't think of a modern day equivalent to play Bet. I just can't do it. But Judy Garland as Bette Midler, I think would work really, really well. I still like playing that Veronica role, so I would go with Natalie Wood for Veronica. I mean, I know she's very angsty and tortured, but I feel like she could have so much fun with a role like that. And then for Kathleen and Jimmy's character, you know what? Let's just go there and say Jerry Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
It could be funny.
It would be very funny because I love the idea of swapping genders. Mm-hmm. Josie Galvez says, Ava Morgenstern. I think I said, I don't know if I hit the notes on that. Well, let's just say I didn't. Friday Catch says, oh, good, Bombshell. Oh, Bombshell, Yolanda's here. Hey, girl, hey. Oh, okay. So I'm going to try to go back up to the top because there were some really good ones. Friday Ketchup said Pink as a modern day version of Bet. And I think that's brilliant because I feel like she could really kitsch it up. Plus, I love that. Lady Gaga is one of the witches.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad I didn't think of that idea.
Simiju said, oh yeah, if they remake it, I could get behind Pink taking the baton from Bet. But I do feel like for that to be successful, I do feel like they need to do something like that to go really big with that Bette Midler role. Let's see. I saw somebody else. Can't do without Bet or Kathy. I replaced Sarah with Kristen Chenoweth.
That was mine other than Kristen Bell, Kristen Chenoweth. I love her in anything.
Yeah.
I feel like she could probably carry the Winnie role as well, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think she could at this point, like now in her career, I think she definitely could.
Oh my God. Does anybody watch the show Pushing Up Daisies?
I did a little bit.
Oh man, it's one of my favorite shows ever. Like the color palette, the weirdness, Kristen Chenowethness. It was just amazing. Don't thought out Banks. I think it said maybe don't forget Banks. We already recast Banks as Mr. Darcy. Follow him on Instagram. As a cute. Denise Marie had to go to bed. She did ask one of her cats if he could talk. He pleaded the fifth.
Cat.
Hopefully Homesteader is so in on Drew Barrymore. Pink and Bette Midler's Raven Simone and Taylor Swift instead of Sarah Jessica Parker. I could actually see Taylor Swift in Parker's role. I feel like
she would be
Delon.
Right cast, it would be impossible. Like they would never get all these people to agree. Like
You never know. Maybe they all love Hocus Pocus. Well, if they did love Hocus Pocus, they would agree not to do it. Delana says, I love Shirley MacLaine, but I'm not sure if I'd like her in such an airhead role. I feel like we should at least...
not as not as yeah.
Oh,
Like, not as
she would be Kathleen and Jimmy, the one who can sniff up kids. Mary Karen says, okay, I have one recast. Johnny Depp is Billy the Zombie.
ooh,
Brent, he watched a little bit of this with me, and he thought the long blonde-haired like bully he was like, is that a young James Franco? No, but he could be the other boy. He could be the cat.
There you go. Oh, but you know what? When I first saw those, they reminded me of Jay and Silent Bob.
yes, that's what I thought too. I was like, oh, nice, that's cute, Disney trying to like tap into that, you know.
Because that was right about the same time too, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Delana says, have a good night, gorgeousness. Thank you for coming out. And hopefully Homesteader said, yes, Johnny Depp and Helen Bonham.
Helena Bonham. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'd watch that. Maybe not Johnny Depp, but I'd watch her. I'll watch her in anything.
You know what? If anybody's going to remake this movie, it can only be Tim Burton.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Would be able to take this movie and remake it because I think that he would execute the cast perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
But it would have to go that slightly edgier.
Mm-hmm. Or Neil Gaiman. We could do Neil Gaiman. But Tim Burton would definitely have.
Or Quentin Tarantino.
Stop.
Oh my God.
Explosions, the black flame.
All that superheated sulfur.
I don't think it would be the same out. Like, I think the ending would drastically change. Oh boy.
Taya said there's a great cover of Villain/Sanderson sisters singing a Taylor Swift song, and it's better than their. Okay, you need to send us a link for this. Clearly, look what you made me brew. Patty Cake Productions.
Definitely looking that up.
Oh my God, that's amazing. All right, so we are officially over time because we always are every month. Let's see, for next month, I went ahead and decided on my own that in the month of December that we are going to do a Gene Tierney movie. So we'll be, I know, don't you like how I make those decisions? I don't know, it just popped in my head, seemed like it'd be a good thing to do. And I feel like, because a lot of times since we've been starting to focus more on, you know, movies from a specific actor point of view kind of thing. And we always go with the big ones, like the Marilyns or, you know, the Jane Russells and blah, 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 blah. And I feel like Jean Tierney doesn't get as much love as she should, and she's amazing. So if you have any suggestions for a Jean Tierney movie, please don't put them in the comments unless this is already posted up onto YouTube, because we lose all our amazing comments when it posts onto YouTube. But follow us on our Facebook page, Classy Chicks of Vintage Flicks, and you'll be able to post your movie suggestions under the post that JL will put up either tonight or tomorrow. And then we will be voting in a couple of weeks. And we will hopefully, fingers crossed, but I mean, it's us. So hopefully we'll be back the second Wednesday of the month, but we haven't even looked at our calendars yet. So stay tuned to the Facebook page to find out when the next one is going to be coming up. And we will have the votes coming up in the near future as well. And of course, I know it may seem like a long time until you see our faces again. So follow us on our social medias. Hey Al. Oh my God, that's
it's our ship name.
Oh God. Oh, what did it say? I feel like we need to start a Hey Elifer. If you want to follow Hayel on Instagram, you'll find, well, actually, honestly, you'll find all of us all over the social media as How to Be Fancy, Modern Retro Gal, and A Vintage Vanity. And Heather, if you guys didn't follow her on Instagram, I just want to give you a huge shout out for making October absolutely amazing. She did a post every day in October of outfits and inspirations throughout the month, and I know how much work went into that, and I know I enjoyed every single one of those posts. So go follow her up on Instagram for just more amazingness. So
there were no meltdowns. Not a single meltdown was had in October. Oh, if you guys have any puns for next year, I want to do it again next year, but I need good like spooky fall puns. So I'll put a thing in the Facebook group, and I need puns for next year because I'm planning ahead this time.
All right. Oh, Lacey Snowdoll says, darn it, bye, guys, because I think she just popped in. Oh, I know, sweetie. We're going to get better about posting these. Once again, I apologize for how crazy things have been. So good night, everybody. Thank you guys so much for coming out. And if you're just tuning in now, don't worry. This is going to post on the YouTube channel, and you can watch it all from the very beginning and leave in the comment section who you think it was that had a cider before the before movie chat tonight. I don't think you guys can guess it, to be quite honest, because we're just that weird. So have a great night, and we will see you all again soon. Thank you guys so much for coming out. You make this the best part of everything. So good night, guys.
Bye.
Here's the part where Jen tries to find the stop button.